Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Criminal Minds Season 16, Episode 1, just getting started. I am so excited to watch this. It has been on my to-be-watch for the longest time. I recently started adding it to my Patreon polls, and it won the most recent one for the next show to watch on my channel. I have seen the first 15 seasons of Criminal Minds. I've seen the early seasons many times, and then each season, like, the rewatches would kind of become, well, they were more recent, so they've had less rewatches. I love this show so much. I used to, in my school planner, my friend and I printed off a picture of Reed at lunchtime and kept it in the planner, and for the rest of the school year, like, there was just a picture of Reed in our school planners. And yeah, I know he's not in this new season, but like, I love Criminal Minds. I love all the characters, so don't worry, like, I'm excited to see everybody again. And I'm pretty sure that all I already know about this is because it's not like on network TV in the same way, they have a little bit more freedom. I also don't necessarily think, I mean, I know for sure that there is one overarching unsub, who I think is played by an actor that I really like, and I don't think it has the, like, episode of the week, murder of the week kind of storyline, though maybe it has a little bit of that too. I genuinely don't know, but I'm just really excited to get into this show. So yes, without further ado, with a little bit of further ado, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube, it goes unedited on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, edited version 1 week in advance. So right now, unedited on my Patreon, there's episode 3, episode 2 edited, and episode 1 is on YouTube. And yes, let's go. So it's been going on for some time then. Oh god. Fucking hell. Oh, Criminal Minds.
Let's find out.
Oh lord. I'm sorry, sir, you're not getting justice anytime soon. Is this a different person? Oh no. But it's tragic whoever is inside the house. Yes, I'm sorry, you didn't stand a chance. Should have said I'm watching Criminal Minds Evolution 016. Are the two things connected? Oh lord, so it's been abandoned for some time. But how many victims are there? Those
serial killers.
show already has such a different feel.
I'm gonna need some help.
Tara and Lewis. You don't call, you don't write.
She doesn't work with them anymore.
We're here. You saying still makes about as much sense as the Bureau benching our jet.
What's the over-under that we get that back this year?
He'd send you.
No, he's been focused on that Virginia case.
What Virginia case?
Family Annihilator.
So there are two cases.
Yikes.
She's got her mind on a lot more than just us.
The field
Things
coordinators
have
in the
changed.
Southeast have been inundated.
Agents solved twice as many cases split up.
The split was only supposed to last for 6 months, but without the help of SSA's Reed and Simmons.
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to discuss their assignments. If and when they return is entirely up to them. Sadly, we don't have a say. When's the...
Agent Rossi has forgotten more about serial offenders than we will ever know. The Bureau is lucky to have him leading the BAU.
A dramatic...
It is interesting, like, so obviously I guess because they're working alone. But something that's going to be different with this show, with the fact that it's taking place over many, like, episodes rather than one, is it's going to make them seem less competent than they were, because they used to, like, walk in, solve a case in a couple of days, leave again. Like, there would be the rare ones where it would, like, go on over the course of the season, or there would be, like, the big bads who get away for a while. Maybe I'm misremembering and the episode actually took place over like a few weeks, but I don't think it did. It would literally be they'd fly in over a couple of days, they'd solve a case, and a couple of days was pushing it sometimes. Whereas like now it's going to seem obviously a bit more realistic, but they're going to take a lot longer to solve these cases, which will make it seem like they've dropped off a bit. But then, so what I'm picking up on this is obviously there's been a few promotions and things, but for cost-cutting measures, agents go and investigate things alone rather than as part of a huge team, which also will mean things get solved slower because you don't have people to bounce ideas off of. And you're more likely to lose yourself without somebody else to lean on, without somebody else to take the strain with you. Someone else will say, you take tonight off, I'll focus on it for tonight. You know, like, you need to work with this kind of work, as awful and depressing as it is. I think you need someone else with you, multiple people with you at best. Because seeing this kind of thing alone with no one else, working it alone is never going to be as efficient as working it as part of a team.
Game today, and I played
There is
really
no way that voice sounds like that. They were.
Yeah, it's true. It's supposed to happen.
It is.
Means we're doing our job.
Touch base tomorrow.
No, it's fine. We can talk now.
You need to talk to someone.
This case.
You need a team working on these things. He is losing himself.
Cross state lines.
Oh, it happened again. The family we saw
I'll be right there.
should not be dealing with this stuff alone. He didn't kill the
tragedy
baby.
of life is not death, but what we let die inside of us while we live. Norman Cousins.
Glad they didn't lose the quotes altogether.
He killed the parents and then he took the teenage daughter.
Oh
There
lord.
was a struggle in her bedroom.
This feels like a different show, but it's got the characters we know so well. I'm really enjoying it. Which is a weird thing to say given everything that's happened so far.
Sorry. We will find whoever did this.
You can't promise me that.
No. We'll do everything
Feels
we
like I couldn't
can.
promise to keep her safe. Feels.
Empty.
Yeah.
You clutch your grandson as tight as you can.
But what Lewis found is huge. BAU needs jurisdiction.
Help me help you. Find the girl alive. Then we'll see.
Can we have some kind of written confirmation that deal with this case first because it's active, and so long as the other case remains non-active that we know, we'll come back to it afterwards. Slimy people sliming around. I don't trust him. I think he was Western heroes.
Anything stand out compared to the first crime scene?
Yeah, Mr.
Rossi should have
Delaney's
gloves on. They all do.
slit versus
Issue an Amber Alert.
We don't have a make and model yet.
Now fucking get it. Chrissy's face has to be everywhere so I can tell her grandmother that we did everything we could. And if you can't make that happen, then you explain to her why we failed.
Rossi should not be left alone. No one should be left alone dealing with this kind of thing. They're dealing with this kind of stuff every day. They all should be in mandated therapy.
even Rossi. But it's
Who's
almost
he
a mirror
grieving?
thing. But it's not
His
healthy.
daughter?
You can't keep it bottled
His
up.
partner?
You cannot.
So the neighbors got this. 11:10 p.m.
So
Let's
casual.
fast forward, see where you go.
2005 to 2020? There's no way he just turns off and quits.
Mm-hmm.
All the arrests for the past 2 years, nothing.
Professional killers don't risk the time it takes to torture unless the act itself has meaning, not to mention the revisiting.
It's just not enough.
It is enough! Bureaucracy. Which again, this is probably a much more realistic look at how these things operate.
What did Chrissy do after you gave her the money? I don't know.
So he
Was there
made
another
her
vehicle?
do
Was there
it.
anyone with her? Think.
You're getting to another car, but she must have.
He was controlling her from a distance.
Please, just let me go home. Just let me go.
She doesn't know.
Promise we wouldn't.
There's a very good chance this unsub virtually befriended.
Does Penelope work there?
Oh gosh, those look gorgeous. Put the kettle on love. Is that more British?
Just please don't. Please stop.
We've got to wrap it up, mates. Yeah,
Please.
we'll reschedule.
Please stop with the anglophoneness. Please, Penelope, I love you, and I really don't want to hold this against you until the end of time. Please. Not that many British people say mate. Some do. There's nothing wrong with it. But most of us don't.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
She doesn't use any other social media platforms.
I mean, one question is, does her family use any other social media platforms? Parents love posting pictures of their children. Like, they could be targeted that way, and even if they don't tag her because she doesn't have any other social media accounts, does anybody else in her family ever post pictures with her in? And they can then go, there is a teenage girl there that I would like that one. You know, it doesn't have to be necessarily her.
The whole point is to avoid stranger danger. These big, beautiful lines of secure communication.
But how do you
and a
prove
safe
that
forum
people
where
aren't...
I can dig into this.
Like, do you have to prove that you are a real person and a teenager to join? Or could I create an account and say, yeah, I'm 16, I'm from San Francisco, and I love the water. I'm so sorry. I'm Penelope was being British, I'm going to be American at her. And just sign up, even though I'm a 30-year-old from England. Like, how can you be sure it's...
Person, but I do not feel good about it. Expectations, semester abroad, Gel X nail art, Korean drama. This is not unsub.
Addictions?
Until it is.
I have a gorgeous life here.
Stop. slapping me, okay? That's number one.
And 2, there is a
Number
missing
2,
girl.
Let's focus on what the
Literally 2 things down, it said addictions, didn't it?
I want to help, and I'm going to, but nobody talks to me like that anymore. Especially not people I love. So, bye.
Rossi, what has happened to you?
Which means he's doing it alone, which means he's convinced in himself he doesn't need anybody,
Yep.
and he's rejected the hive mind.
Yeah, until he's reminded that it works.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
Okay, wait, I'm at 34 minutes. When they were looking through the list of the girls' pages,
Semester abroad, Jelix.
okay, there's only 3 views, but addictions. They don't even mention addictions. That is such a, like, yeah, like, obviously comparatively, like, best colleges she's looked at the most, then semester abroad, which would also suggest that she potentially wants to leave her family. She doesn't want to be near them. Then academic expectations, maybe that suggests that there is too much academic expectation on her. Korean dramas, average teenage girl thing, but I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean that, like, I don't think that's a red flag. And then addictions, 3 searches, something she's a little bit shy about looking into. That they haven't even mentioned that addictions was there.
Namaste, namaste, namaste. Okay.
I don't blame her for wanting to just take a breath away
Why
from
does
all the
Rossi think the
sadness and
answer is
pain.
Because of...
He has threatened her enough to make her not try and escape. Will she now? Oh, he's recorded it. What happened, Rossi? Who died? Yeah, I thought it would be his wife. They all deserve happiness in their lives, but life does not always guarantee that.
Alves stayed at HQ for me, yet I still managed to lose my shit this morning. Or how Tara and JJ have answered every call, every consultation without fail. And how you have been covering for me.
Why do I need to keep score when you've been doing
Family.
such a good job?
Stop punishing yourself and start asking for help from those who love you.
Dave.
You're a better person than I am, Emily.
You're just in pain right now.
And I'm okay with that.
Both sets of parents were killed, but I'm wondering, what if they were collateral damage?
Yeah,
Because
was he...
True targets were always the daughters.
What if murder is just a means?
He's starting to work
That
with them.
speaks to an immature offender. Like, it's rash, violent, disorganized. He didn't show up with the murder weapon.
But with the Delaney family, he learned from his mistakes.
He had to get
Scrambled
rid of the
security, killed the
parents.
parents. Then he went...
The owners OD'd on Oxy. 4-year-old Roy James Gilchrist was the only survivor, hence the name RJ. Bounced around foster homes.
Well done,
He was in
Penelope.
juvie, records are sealed, but he's out now.
Thank you, Penelope. Let's move.
You're the best.
You owe me lunch.
It's so
and
hard
no
because she has to
compliments.
come back. But at the same time, I'm also like, I don't blame her for wanting a break. For wanting to not have your whole life be immersed in this pain and misery. But then she's so good at it. She saved so many lives.
And you were always so kind to me online.
She's a
You
kind
changed everything.
person.
So, your parents wouldn't let you, that they were controlling. You never would have made it to California with them around.
I didn't want you to hurt them.
Mm-hmm. Stay safe, girl. We're coming.
Used to it. I did. It's just us now. Chrissy, stop!
Oh, Chrissy. Well done, girl, but... Come on, team. Did he shoot himself? Because she rejected him? Because he made that comment about, like...
I did this. I said I needed space, and he killed my family. It's all my fault.
Chrissy!
No, 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 no.
Listen, focus on my voice. None of this is your fault.
It really isn't,
Okay?
sweetheart.
You hear me? No. You have to choose to fight. You have to want to survive.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's also what he needs to do in his
promise
life.
It's gonna be okay. And it still hurts like hell.
But there is so much to live for.
It's the little things they don't tell you. The quiet in the house. I can't stand it.
With your baby brother
After she
and
was
your
gone,
grandma
I
and...
stopped seeing everything good in the world. But then I realized when Crystal died, I died a little bit too. But that's not how we honor those we love.
We live for them, with them in
Not what
mind.
your parents would want.
Well done, sweetheart. Well done, Rossi.
It's okay.
Poor girl.
It's okay.
Did the monster shoot himself or did she shoot him? He shot himself, right? Because he wanted to end it all and then she gave him hope, was what he said.
Hillcrest shot himself.
Okay.
It's like a how-to manual.
Yeah. Did he get help? It's her unsub was helping this unsub.
Footlockers were in there.
Killing of a family in Alexandria, Virginia.
She gonna see the... Yep.
Holy shit.
Look, what are the chances we have identical footlockers on opposite coasts?
I would have bet the farm I was chasing a 40-something unsub with experience.
Mm-hmm.
The 19-year-old is getting help from the 40-something with experience.
We've got to get that shipping container transferred to Quantico, right?
Yes.
You need all eyes on this.
The whole team.
The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit unearthed what can only be described as a burial site.
Yep.
On the East Coast, they rescued. She was abducted by the now deceased 19-year-old Rory Gilchrist. Gilchrist is suspected to be responsible for murder of the...
And all the dark fiends came out from hiding and had the world all to themselves.
He is no longer stopped. He's back at it. Okay, that was a really good episode. It was kind of jarring, not in the episode itself, but because, you know, Criminal Minds was so kind of formulaic because it was episodic television, and to kind of go from like that with all the same characters and the same kind of case they were dealing with, but have it in this absolutely different way was a little jarring, but it was almost jarring that it wasn't jarring, if that makes sense. Like, it just felt natural. It was so great to see these characters again, and then so tragic to kind of see them in these circumstances where they have both been forced apart, they don't get to work together anymore, things are different. I definitely think this is potentially a slightly more realistic look at how these kind of things are run, which is not well with idiotic bureaucrats who don't actually understand a thing about what they're talking about, making all the decisions. But I loved seeing the fact that this team still cared about each other no matter what. And, you know, like, Rossi was acting out because of his grief, he was lashing out even, and, you know, JJ saying how, like, we can't keep being the punching bags for it, we have to do something. But it also came from a place of love. It wasn't like, oh my god, he's so awful and annoying, I hate him. Like, the characters were still the characters, if that makes sense, and they still were this little family that loves each other that have been forced apart by circumstance. Now I kind of feel like Penelope, they both begin with P. My brain is CFS, it can't tell the difference. It's going to kind of end up having to come back just because she's such a core character and she's so good at what she does. And they've made a point of these remote workers aren't as good as she is. But at the same time, there is genuinely a part of me that's like, she got out. She's living a life where she doesn't have to have nightmares every night and be haunted by the things she's seen. But then you also, it's such an interesting thing, isn't it? Because she's so good at what she does at helping people, and if somebody dies because Penelope wasn't there, like, should she be there? I don't know, but I'm also proud of her for getting out. I'm not proud of her for throwing a British baking party. I know we have the Bake Off, but, like, please no more, Penelope. Just a baking party. Just a group of your friends come together and bake, and you can talk about Bake Off, that's fine. But not focusing on the important things here. And I love the idea that she tried to make a safe space for teens online after everything she's seen, how dangerous it is. I think it's really important and special that she would actually try to do the opposite. And no place is going to be completely safe, because there can be bad people who are young. And I love the fact that ultimately these two cases were connected. Surely that's got to be enough so that the annoying guy, well, I think he was Western Heroes. I don't know. I've seen him in other things, but my brain is like, I think that's who he is. But that he will have to, like, see that, yes, okay, this is a BAU case. It's a huge case. Let's get them connected, because he is still active, because he's helping this other person. He's helped one other person do his evil murdering. Who's to say he won't help somebody else? The cases themselves, definitely very Criminal Minds-esque, brutal, family annihilators, unsubs, torture and blood everywhere. It was Criminal Minds. It was really, in the middle of it, I said, I'm enjoying this. And then I was like, it does feel weird to say, but, you know, it's the characters and the cases and how they solve the cases rather than the brutality of the cases themselves that is what we love. I think they did a really good job of handling the fact that time has passed, of the reality of things, of how COVID changed things, and of simply of just how the world has changed. Also a slightly grittier, maybe more realistic look at how things are run within the FBI. I hope, and I'm assuming going forward, they're all going to be working together. I don't know if Penelope will be involved or not. I kind of, like I said, I want her to be because I adore her character and because I think like she's obviously going to be brilliant and able to help a whole lot. And then I'm also like, but she's free. She gets to sleep at night. She deserves that. And I like how they explained where the actors who are not available, that they are both on special assignments, that like secret assignments, rather than kind of just, oh yeah, they transferred and they will definitely never come back, or oh, they died last year, so sad. Which, I mean, if they'd said either of them had died, Reed in particular, I would have been like, turning off. There is no need for senseless murdering of people. It's bad enough they killed Rossi's wife. Like, but in that way they can come back if they're available, they can pop by for one episode if they're available, but at the same time we as viewers know that they haven't ditched the team. Like, it always felt kind of jarring to me when Morgan left, that it was like, oh well, farewell, we shall never see you again, and I was like, you're just moving away. Like, you will be in contact all the time. Like, I know obviously it was because the actor was leaving and so therefore we wouldn't see them be in contact, but I was always like, you can still be in contact. My best friend lives in Canada. You can still be in contact across the states. But no, this was such a good episode, an intriguing one with this unsolved that we know so little about. He's been active for so long. COVID stopped him in his tracks, but what's going to happen now? Very, very well done. I'm very intrigued and excited to see where it goes next. A reminder that as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.